I asked my community on Discord, what makes you special? With interesting results. From people talking about their ability to improve upon themselves, getting out of their comfort zones to learn from, or even educate others, to what makes them passionate and kind. And then there's Wingwolf. She's in a league of her own. And even though some folks had similar responses, they were executed in their own unique way. But does being nice or educated really help you stand out amongst the crowd, or is there more to it? I'll ask again, what makes you special? A question I'm sure we've all pondered at one point in our lives, but it's also the focus of this classic Powerpuff Girls episode, Nuttin' Special. After putting out a giant flaming rodent, he thanks Bubbles for her special knowledge of the Spanish language, and Blossom for her special ice breath ability. Powers that are exclusive to them, making these girls very special. Or as special as superpowered kindergartners can be. Oh, and he thanks Buttercup too for, being there? Yeah, looking back at it, there wasn't really anything she could have done to help, because Buttercup doesn't have her own special power, but she's determined to find it.
Well, I want to know what my special power is, and we're not leaving until I find out what it is!
The whole episode is spent trying to find something that Buttercup can do that her sisters can't. But for every twister, supersonic screech, or atomic snot rocket she throws at them, Blossom and Bubbles can just as easily mimic. Could you imagine how infuriating that is? Having the usual sibling feud but with superpowers would make anybody feel insecure. All it's missing is the song Anything You Could Do, I Could Do Better, and we have ourselves the easiest AMV ever made. And I truly feel for Buttercup here because she's convinced herself that without her own unique ability, she's not as special as her sisters.
Forget it. I ain't got no special skills. I ain't special.
That is until she sticks out her tongue. Turns out that not only can't her sisters do it, but absolutely no one in Townsville can curl their tongue like her. And even though it's not a superpower, it's something only Buttercup can do. Therefore, she found what makes her special.
You know what? It's not even a special power.
Yeah, but it's a skill you can't do, and you can't do.
As average as this episode may be, it gave us a much needed insight on Buttercup's role in the team. We know her as the toughest fighter and the temperamental one, but she doesn't have an ability that makes her as memorable as her sisters. Blossom had a whole episode dedicated to learning about her new ice breath power, and we see Bubbles speak Spanish and communicate with animals all the time. Compared to them, being strong was all Buttercup had going for her, and even then all three of them have shown amazing feats of strength, which diminishes Buttercup's only other gimmick. You know, aside from being hot-headed. So it's no surprise that Buttercup can go from being frustrated for not having a special power to bragging about being able to do something no one else can in an instant. It might seem small and insignificant to most, I dare say even trivial, but to Buttercup, that's something only she can do, and no one can take that away from her. And that's something we all need to hear. Clearly, talking about cartoons doesn't make me special, because obviously I'm not the only person on YouTube who does it. And I'm certainly not the only non-male black person who does it either. But as far as I know, I am the only tiger, and no one can take that away from me, because we're endangered. But if you take a look at the landscape of people who do talk about cartoons, and animation in general, you won't find two channels that are alike. Unless of course they're copycats or stealing other people's content. Man of a Thousand Thoughts, I Love Kim Possible a Lot, Rebel Taxi, The Wacky Deli, Nintendo, Hats Off Media, Lily Orchard, Timothy Reviews Revival, Saber Spark, Review Ya Life, Shade X, Toon Runes, Cash Cash, Offbeat Kiki, Toonerific Tyreek, The Storyteller, Johnny Two Cellos, Harry on a Hook, Michaela Turkelson, Benzie Johnson Jr., Cartoonshi, The Roundtable, Veritas Joe, LS Mark, Anime Puffs, Ask Air, Sailboat Stoat, The Alpha J Show, Large Black Male, Geek Tunes, and so many others. Not to mention the anime community, dear God! Everyone, whether you like them or not, has their own unique way of analyzing and reviewing animation, and even has their own sense of humor to it, making each and every one of them, and everyone else, special. Hell, even outside the realm of the cartoon community, there's tons of channels under similar categories but express themselves differently. Like the commentary community. People like Curtis Connor and Jarvis Johnson are more comedic, while D'Angelo Wallace and The Right Opinion have a documentary style to their videos. I don't know about y'all, but for me, it kinda gets stale only watching creators who are all the same. So to expand my mind, I branched out and started watching Ruin de Leon and Gothix, a professional shit talker and a social commentator, respectively. I'm might not agree with them 100% of the time, but they discuss social issues and topics that might be deemed as controversial, aka Twitter overreacting, and people simplifying or ignoring key details and complex issues with more nuance than I've ever seen. And I love that shit! So I encourage y'all, get out of your comfort zones and discover something new. You want to laugh at the breakdown of bad movies and even worse tropes they perpetuate to their young audiences while seeing stunning makeup? Then watch Kenny JD. You want to see a creative spin on those in a nutshell video summaries, but actually funny and insightful? Then watch Sarcastic Chorus. You want to have deep discussions about the lessons we learned from cartoons? Then watch Made to Express. Because even though these styles of videos are inspired by him, I can only speak from my own experiences and how these lessons have resonated with me or how they can start a larger conversation. Remember folks, nothing is original, which is why you gotta steal like an artist. Take what inspires you, put your own spin on it, and keep honing your skills. Where do you think I got the inspiration for Cartoon Confessions from? Emma Richu's childhood crush videos, but in my cutesy art style with various topics to talk about. Also, our personalities are very different, so yeah, that helps too. So don't overthink when it comes to what makes you different from the rest, because your voice, your experiences, and your ideas are what makes you stand out. Being the best you can be makes you special enough. And when everyone is special,
no one will.